right? We got a lot of broken people, broken pieces that come together thinking that we can just form one. It ain't 50-50. It's 100-100. It's you become whole and I become whole.
And now y'all beefing because you jealous.
And now
that spirit is deadly.
Yeah. We talked about some things that could potentially get in the way, get in between you and your companion.
Those vices that we have.
What's in you is gonna come out of you. If you got a person who just go out their way to just throw stuff in your face, then that's insecurity.
There you go. There you go. How do you expect your spouse to love you when you don't even love you?
Welcome. This is Relationships 101 Podcast, your introduction to a committed relationship. I'm your host, Sylvester Wilson.
And I'm your co-host, Jasmika Wilson.
Yes, baby.
Let's get into it.
Now, last episode, we talked about some things that could potentially get in the way, get in between you and your companion, you and your partner, right? We ran through that. That was a good episode. We decided to do a series, kind of spend a little bit more time on those things that could get in the way. First on the agenda, of what can get in the way, is you. You. Us, right? Because before we can look outside and deal with those things that are external to our relationships, we got to deal with what's in it.
Absolutely.
Right? We got to deal with the two people who actually created it.
And one of our favorite lines is, how you want me to like you if you don't even like you?
Beautiful.
How do you expect your spouse to love you when you don't even love you? So that's why we thought we should stop here. So today we'll be talking about stuff that go on internally that gets in the way of our union. And we got jealousy on the list.
Jealousy. That's you.
Insecurity on the list.
Insecurity.
Past trauma on the list. Selfishness on the list. Greed on the list. Not growing, just staying dead, staying the same.
Wow.
And of course, those vices that we have, whatever your vice may be, it could be gambling, drinking, smoking, sex, pornography, whatever your vices are. We coming for those things today.
Okay. When you say not growing, that's like what, like personal growth areas?
Yeah, your personal growth.
Okay.
Spiritual growth.
Yeah. So let's get into it. I think that we can deal with jealousy, right? We could talk about that because jealousy actually does exist in relationships. In
different ways, too.
Yeah. What are some ways you...
Jealous of your partner.
Okay.
Jealous of the relationship they have with other people.
I see you talk to them.
That kind of go with insecurity there.
Oh, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Why you always in their face? Jealousy can also take a different form, right? In a more competitive way, when it's jealousy towards your partner.
Why do you feel like that exists?
I don't know, man. I mean, that's definitely insecurity too. Because if you stepped into this relationship with that type of insecurity, right, then it's going to show up. Like what's in you is going to come out of you at some point. And if you got a insecure person who's connected to somebody who is more secure, or some people just blessed, You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And instead of seeing it to where you're connected now to that blessing, some people, because of, the issues that they have not dealt with within themselves, right? The insecurity, they tend to not see each other on the same team.
I was gonna say, because isn't it, if you win, I win, we win?
That's how it's supposed to be.
But I know we coming for the people that we're saying got that jealous spirit, like you just jealous, you're envious. What about the partner that's making that person resent their blessing because they just throw it in their face? Like, so it's not, I'm jealous of what you acquired. You make me feel a way like you're greater than me. Like, it ain't. Like, how do you feel about that?
I don't know, because if you got a person who just go out their way to just throw stuff in your face, then that's insecurity
There
too.
you go. There you go. There you
You
go.
know
I
what I'm
wanted to
saying?
call them out too.
Okay.
Because just because that one blessed, that don't mean that partner is jealous of their blessings. Sometimes that insecure person use their blessings to hunt or taunt that individual.
Yeah. That could be so. I don't want to excuse nobody's feelings.
Don't hold back.
That do exist.
We are being delivered.
That do exist. However, just like we teach our kids, it ain't what somebody else do, it's how you respond to it, right? You can only deal with what you have power over, which is yourself and how you respond. So if you have a person that's doing something like that, and then in turn, in response to that, you become insecure about yourself, then that means from the beginning, you were never secure with yourself. You're not going to take a secure person, right? And then have another person just taunting them about how they're blessed and how they good at whatever lane they good in, and have this secure person feel insecure about themselves. Because if you're a secure person, you're just not. You're just not. If anything, you're going to high five them and you're going to be congratulating them. Well, good. That's good. Keep it up. Keep up the good work.
Absolutely. That's for the secure people.
That's for the secure people.
Because I was going to say, what if that person, they can be secure and rooted in themselves, but what if opportunities just can't come at the level of that their spouse or their significant other is getting it because of a background, because of this? That spouse shouldn't be throwing it in their face, knowing that this person is limited, whether it's health, whether it's criminal background, whatever it may be. Like, I just feel like the person throwing it in their face, they got to be delivered.
No, definitely.
Stop teasing people. But I agree. A secure person would definitely take it as a, you got this. Let's go. Let's level it up.
Exactly. And a secure person would more so be, I don't know, it's just kind of hard. Like if the person is secure in themselves, it's gonna be hard to get them out of that. Like, that's who they are at this point. And if, like you say, a wise woman once told me that.
What she told you?
Unless you're healed from it or delivered from it, you can't talk about it. So some people can't even give a testimony or talk about how they was delivered from some people can't even tell you where they came from, because they still got one foot in it, or they still feel some type of weight from that thing. Like, they still in that thing. So if you're secure in yourself and you're delivered from insecurity, like, that's just it. You know what I'm saying? That means that your responses are going to come from a secure place.
Absolutely.
And if you have somebody like who taunts and who does, you're insecure, and if that person responds to you in an insecure way because of doing that, then they're insecure too, and you got two insecure people. You can definitely, we got a lot of broken people, right? We got a lot of broken people, broken pieces that come together thinking that we can just form one. It ain't 50-50. It's 100-100. It's you become whole and I become whole, and now we're more of a force, not 50-50, not my better half, not, you know what I'm saying? So
I got one more for the people. It's heavy on me too.
Heavy?
Yes. A jealous person despising another couple, and now you putting a stress on your spouse to be what you see on the outside. So we got to fix that jealousy too. Like, don't be putting the stress or the expectations because you see another couple doing it in your relationship. That's jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
You're jealous of that couple. You can admire, but it's definitely a thin line, we believe, between admiration and jealousy. It'll get to a point where you like,
it's a thin line.
Between, okay. Yeah. But yeah, that can get in the way of it too. Jealous of another couple. Mm-hmm. And now y'all beefing because you jealous.
And now
that spirit is deadly.
Yeah. And now you're using something that's on the outside to ruin something that you have inside. Like that's something external you allowing to come in y'all relationship and ruin things and stir it up and make conflict. Right. When, baby, they ain't got nothing to do with you.
Nothing to do. That's their story. I don't want nobody else's story. You hear me? Because I don't know what happened when the doors closed. So I don't even want the story.
Hey, listen, I don't want nobody else's story. Because get what? I don't want nobody else's glory. You feel me? So, next on the list, what we going at? Past trauma.
I was going to say, let's jump to trauma because you kind of opened that door when you said if you can't heal from it, if you can't talk about it, you ain't heal from it.
Right. So,
past trauma, I feel that it's important for the person you're in a committed relationship with to know you. Mm-hmm. Like, here's my about me. Mm. But I think they got to trust that person before they lay it all out. I was this, I was that, I was this, I was wounded, I was broken, I was this, I stayed with this person, I was touched by that person. I just think that about me would kind of help. And don't be using people about me to destroy them later. If they confide in you to tell you what they're currently struggling with, don't come back to them. That's why you was touched by Granddaddy Sue. Like, don't. Granddad can't be a Sue.
Maybe it was Granddaddy Sue. Maybe it was.
But my point is, don't use people past trauma to hunt
against them. Right, definitely.
It already hunts us. Yeah. Without saying, I don't need your reminder that I was this and I was that.
Yeah, that's actually could be used. I like that about me, because every company you go to their website. If you plan on doing business with them, even on social media nowadays, you got the
about me,
the bio, right? That's basically a little smaller piece like about me, and it kind of lets you know a little bit about the company or the person that you potentially, that you're going to potentially do business with or do some type of exchange with, to see if you actually align, right, and agree with their core values or principles or what they're about. You know what I'm saying? So I like that about me.
About me.
So go ahead and don't be scared to share your about me, because I can say, I can say this about community, right? About the community I'm from. And I can only talk about the Black community because
that's your experience.
I'm only Black. So
got a little brown in you.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah. And hey, it may be true for some other communities and some other cultures. I don't know.
Right.
But from the Black community, I know that, we tend to have this tradition of keeping skeletons in the closet. You know what I'm saying? Of hiding our skeletons. And hiding the past trauma that we've been through, whether it was abortions, whether it was molestation, whether it was we tend to tuck these things away. We don't share it with our we don't share it with our companion, right? That we call ourselves want to love for the rest of our life and spend life with. We don't share it with our children, right? To try to make sure that at least they got a roadmap. They can put that in their roadmap of things to watch out for, right? And it could definitely come back to haunt us if we continue that. So I just want to bring that up to say, man, we got to change that. That about me is very, very important.
I think people have to trust their the person they're with to share that about me, because it's intimate, it's dear. Some of it is embarrassing. Mm. And it takes a different level of commitment to share those things. Don't be out here just sharing y'all about me with anybody. We are not telling you that.
No, it's levels.
Discern, baby.
It's levels to everything.
Discern.
It's levels to everything.
You met him yesterday and you telling him your about me a week later, he gonna use your about me to win your heart over, and then you're gonna learn who he is. And that's just my analogy. But you better discern when and who you share that about me with.
But then there's also another level to it. It's how much, because somebody definitely needs to know, even especially like in the dating stage, they need to know your about me. You ain't got to disclose, use some wisdom. You ain't got to disclose so much. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so we talking about levels here. But they definitely should know what they getting into, so that they can, and you should know as well, right? So you should be able to give what you expect to receive, and don't close up because what you expect to receive from this.
And speaking on the past traumas, I think we need to be sure that we don't let our past experiences come in between what we currently got going. Because that nigga was a cheater, you feel like this dude gonna cheat on you. Because your mama was a whore, you feel like this woman or these women, they just whores. Like, that's trauma you gotta heal from and be delivered from. And don't make that person be confined or live in that box of your past experiences. That's not fair. I'm not your mom, and I'm not talking about you. I love my mama Gail. I love her. But I'm not your mom. I'm not your ex. And I had to learn that coming into this relationship, because at first, just to share a little bit, I came from a relationship where, okay, we're going to talk, and sometimes we may get physical. So when I first came in, I thought we get violent. I thought, okay, we're going to yell at each other. We're going to scream at each other. Oh, you don't yell. You don't scream. So I had to work through that. Like, that was an internal work and change because that wasn't working in this relationship. We wasn't getting nowhere with yelling. I couldn't just slam a door or try to push him. Like, no, I had to be delivered if I wanted that to work in this relationship. So yeah, heal from those past traumas, man. Listen, nobody's perfect. We all got a history. We all got something to be delivered and set free from. Don't be embarrassed. That was the past you. If I look at the 8-year-old Jazz now, I'll probably be like, what the heck, girl? What were you doing? Grace yourself. Right. Apply grace. Apply grace.
Definitely. I see past trauma like, like wounds, right? These are old wounds. These are things that we experienced in our past that has hurt us, and now we walking around still with that pain. It's a wound that ain't quite healed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a scab, and what happens is if you brush up against that scab a little bit too hard, you probably rip some of that skin off, and they go to bleeding again. So those could be triggers. Those could be something that the person, your companion, maybe might say, or how they might respond, or something they might do that could brush up against it and trigger it all over again and cause that same pain to hurt all over again. But if they don't even know that it's there, you know what I'm saying? Then how do they know not to brush up against it? I think that's a conversation that definitely needs to be had. And not just saying, okay, I got this wound, I got this sore right here, now please don't brush up against it. But actually, give as much information as you can. If you could tell them, how you would rather them respond, right? Or how you would, don't just tell them what you don't want, because sometimes that's not enough information. You got the roadmap. That's just why we talk about doing self-work, because if you learn how to love you the right way, then you can show me how to love you the right way. But if you don't know, you can't hold me to knowing.
Absolutely.
So yeah, let's talk about it. Let's definitely be open and vulnerable about our past traumas and our past experiences.
Communicate those triggers. Yeah. Hey, when you did this, that thing kind of scared me there. Yeah. Like, don't do that one. Please don't do that one. Right. Make me want to run, or make me want to.
I was in a past relationship that yada yada yada, and so when you do that, it kind of like take me there. I ain't all the way healed from that. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's good information. That's good intel right there.
What if they're with somebody that just can't, like, they can't comprehend on that level? Like, how do you handle that? Like,
they just ain't getting it.
they ain't getting it. Like, the person is just immature. They're not understanding. How can somebody get through that?
I don't know. I mean, I think that's something I guess that you can use to just gauge
If this
whether or not
this
is a good fit for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you got, this is what I'm coming with.
You knew, you just ain't want to say that to me. I don't know. No, you know. You try not to break people up, man. We want healthy relationships out here.
This is yeah. That work. And you can't run from that work, man. That's why you got a lot of people who you're settling. You know what I'm saying? We end up settling for a couple, little temporary things. When we definitely can have the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? But we just don't want to do the work. And sometimes that work means being by yourself for a season so that you can get that work done on yourself.
Right.
Because the more whole you can show up in a relationship, the more whole the relationship can be. Because like I said, if you don't know how to love yourself, and you ain't took time out enough to learn how to love yourself and how you should be loved, then how you gonna relate that to the next person?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, don't rush it. It's a process. Selfishness is a big thing. Selfishness is a big thing. I see a lot of females out here, they want the princess treatment, they want the royal treatment and all that. And ain't nothing wrong with that. You deserve it. I teach my daughter, she deserves royal treatment. However, I also, get at her when she's not reciprocating that.
Absolutely.
To people who give it to her. And it's the same when we're adults. You gotta reciprocate. I know you probably been getting this same treatment or getting your way like that since you was little. But now you grown. And you gotta know how to reciprocate that. Because again, what you put out, that's what you receive. You can't just keep receiving and you're not putting out. We call that robbery. You know what I'm saying?
I call it ugliness.
Ooh.
It's ugly.
Ooh.
Like, I cannot stand to see a selfish, entitled person.
Mm-hmm.
I avoid them by all means necessary.
Men and women.
I don't care who you are. I avoid it. Like, I don't want that. I don't know. It's just like, get away from me. It's nasty. It's ugly. It's disgusting. It's not from God.
That entitlement.
Like, why? Why are you that selfish?
Yeah.
Why? Get somebody else to do it.
So that's like what we call like the brat syndrome.
That's a deal breaker for me.
You kicking and screaming when things don't go your way. It's just always, again, we talked about this in one of the other episodes about toxic behaviors in relationships. That's a toxic trait. That's when things are only going one person's way in a relationship for most of the time. That's a toxic trait. And what's also toxic is the person in the relationship who enables that. Because just as well as we might have some people that's selfish on one side and they're more of a taker, because that's just what they're used to. It may not even be malicious. Mm-hmm. Like, just give me, I want it, it's just what they're used to. But then the programming never gets broken up, right? They can never be reprogrammed because they're with somebody who is an overgiver. They overgive. Like, they been straight. They real straight, but you still and times when you could have been the receiver, you like, nah, because you cool. You're genuinely cool with giving to this person. I gotta
challenge that though, babe.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
The people that just give. Mm-hmm. Why you giving? You paying for love? You hoping that these gifts keep this person near?
What is it?
I challenge that. Like, who okay with just giving and not receiving anything?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that person that is the giver, we coming for you too.
Yeah.
Heal. What you paying for?
Heal, because you could be giving out of trauma too.
Yeah, why? Why? You're afraid they're gonna leave? You're afraid? Like, why are you doing this? Mm-hmm. I challenged those people too.
Because I love them. Well, if you don't know how to love yourself the right way, then I can almost guarantee you don't know how to love somebody else the right way. Just because you giving doesn't mean that you love it. So you may just be loving the wrong way. It may be an unhealthy type of love because you're giving out of the wrong place. You're giving out of a place that isn't healed yet. Mm-hmm. And let's check it. I mean, that's basically what it is. We check ourselves first so that we ain't got to get checked. That's what that work is. That's selfishness.
That's selfishness. Sure. That can look it could look different for a lot of people.
It can.
So
we got people that's in single relationships and been single for a long time.
Ooh, and don't know how to
be with somebody, right? Don't know how to be a teammate. Don't know how to be
single. Till Jesus call you home.
I mean, do that because that's they just selfish.
Like just stay single.
Just selfish out here. So if that's you got to work on that, baby. Especially if you want
companionship.
Like it ain't just gonna happen because you staying the same. It's got to take me the way I am. Well, the way you are got you where you at right now. And if you're single right now, then that means that the way you are needs to change in order so that you can attract something different to your life.
Maybe they could practice with their friends. Like, if you're single and you want to try to, or your children, whoever you got, just try to break the selfishness, practicing with coworkers, friends, families, so that when you are in relationship with somebody else, it's not as hard, or it don't make them run because you just been by yourself for so many years that you can't break free from this selfishness.
But what you mean practice? Like what is something they can do?
Give to spend time with friends, give to family members, donate time, work at the church.
Okay, so you're saying that they could use the relationships that they have right now to make sure that they're holding themselves accountable to reciprocating in that giving thing. Right, making sure that you're giving, right? You're not receiving more than you're giving, basically. Mm-hmm. I personally believe that this is me though. What makes a good relationship is that you're making sure that you're giving more value than what you're actually receiving.
So ain't this a scripture that say, I'm not, I love the Lord and I read my Bible, but I'm not a pastor or a preacher. But ain't this a scripture that says it's better to give than receive?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's a principle. Definitely. It's a principle. And
so that means that if you're not doing that, then you might just be breaking some laws, some universal laws.
Mm-hmm. It's a principle. Work on that selfishness, y'all. Be ye delivered.
Some people out here, some of us mess up a good thing because we just workaholics.
Ooh.
Some of us are workaholics.
Money.
We can't get enough. And so that's where greed comes in. The greed. Give me everything that I need. How you gonna deal with the
I'm gonna go a little past the greed.
Uh-huh.
It's fear there too. They're afraid of something. Whether that's that past trauma again. They used to lights being out or moving 12 times. So they feel like I have to stay ahead of the curve and I gotta be a workaholic so that my money don't stop or I don't become a product of my environment. Mm-hmm. So we gotta get to the root of that greed to find out what it really is.
Yeah, like why you can't get enough?
What you afraid of?
And then you gotta think about what you may be trading off. Because everything is a transaction. So And you should know that if you're a workaholic and right? And if you still, out here trading time for money, like, so you understand that principle. So therefore, when it comes to your relationship, think about what you might be trading off. What's the transaction? You may be trading your relationship for whatever that work is that you just can't stay away from. You picking up OT even when
just addicted to
even when your relationship, right, you don't need it, and your relationship is starving but you still feel like you just got to get more. You just got to grind. You just got to, and it's like, yeah. So what you scared of? Like, what's really happening? Or what are you running away from?
Right. You don't want to be home.
Right. Like, what is it? That's a conversation to have.
Work.
Let's have that conversation.
You gotta love at work.
Let's talk.
What's going on?
Hey, man.
We here.
It's hard conversations.
And we got, greed when it comes to sex. Some people are never satisfied.
Never insatiable appetite.
Never satisfied.
Hey, do you have like are you a sexaholic? I mean, this is a thing too. Is that an issue? Then let's get the help. Let's do the work.
Therapy out there.
Let's do the work.
There's therapy out there.
Definitely got sexaholic.
Particular thing.
Yeah.
Maybe you started watching pornography at a young age and you was addicted to it, and
maybe you opened the door too soon to something, and it became a little bit more perverted, a little bit more turned up than what you can manage. And then what happens is that's one of those things that, like being single, we may, form some habits and have some things going on when we single, but then you get into a relationship and it doesn't fit here.
Right.
You have to become a new person, like a new version of yourself in order to be with somebody else. And that's one of them. And that's basically all we talking about. Becoming that new version of yourself, so that you could have what it is that you claim you want.
Mm-hmm. First, we got to acknowledge what the issue is to become a better version of ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, find you a trusted somebody. We're definitely later going to open up consultation services, but find you a trusted somebody that you could be like, hey, I got this issue.
Right.
Like, I'm trying to work through it. I don't desire to do it. Like, I'm trying. Like, find you an accountability partner or somebody you can be open and honest with. Because, you got to die daily of that. Like, resist.
Yeah.
Resist.
And if that's the case, you with your lifelong companion, let them know, man.
It's not you.
If they're really with you, they're going to stick with you through the process, because it's a process, because they want to see you grow too.
And don't be blaming women on, I cheated because you don't give me sex every night. Listen, I'm a woman. I'm still looking for the woman that can have sex 2 to 3 times in one day. Mm-hmm. That's selfish. Sorry, had to throw it out there. Mm. We are not made to be sex machines, to just hunch every second, a minute you want to do it. Like, control yourself. Like, you have to control yourself. Like, come on.
But you got some women that like it like that too, though.
Every day, 3 times a day?
You got some women that like it.
I never met a penis that could rise 3 times a day go again in the morning, noon, and night. And that sounds
people
like
different. And if that's the case,
I ain't judging. I'm just saying, like, respect and respect.
If that's the case, I feel like it's a give and take. I got you, fellas. It's a give and take now. Let's right? I can understand, right? You was tired. I can understand.
Absolutely.
But then it need to tilt over here some of them times too now. Absolutely. Not always on that side. I need to tilt my way too sometimes to where it can happen 2-3 times. You hear what I'm saying? And that's what love is. Mm-hmm. That's what love is, man. That's that lifelong, that's that commitment we made.
Listen, get a sex plan that works for you. Everybody's body is different. Everybody's set up different.
It is.
All in all, compromise, make it work, figure it out, but stop blaming you stepping outside because the wife ain't want to perform last night. Women gotta shut down. We have a period that we have a menstrual cycle.
And if that's the case,
and you need to discipline.
If that's the case, fellas, we gotta understand that, and we gotta roll with it. There's a window of time where she ain't gonna be ready. I think it's like what, 2. Is it 2 weeks before?
It's whatever that woman body say.
It depends on your but learn your woman body.
Learn your woman body.
Learn her timing.
Trying to be greedy.
Learn her timing.
We on greed, right?
And let's work with her timing.
Yeah, we on greed. Thank you, though. Thank you, babe. That's not our story. That's
I mean, every relationship though is custom made.
Yeah, it's custom made.
That's why we say that, because I gotta learn mine so that I'm good. You gotta learn yours so that you good and you know how to run with it. Like, I got y'all program. But all in all, I'm just saying, like, get a program. I don't feel like it's nothing that's not work outable. Yes, I made that up. I made that up. It ain't nothing that y'all can't work out. Absolutely. Right? Back to nothing between us. Ain't nothing that we can't figure out together. Sometimes, I mean, a lot of times it may take for us to get over the emotions and push that stuff to the side, to get over the past hurt and the pain. And that's what we talking about. Like, let's get to a point where we can get over this stuff. That way we can communicate more effectively to each other.
You know what, laughing? What? I heard, let Jesus be your example. Fellas, what he did? We was a virgin, right?
I mean,
I ain't never hear a sex story. He ain't had no kids. He was disciplined. He got a penis. He was made in human form. How did he manage all them days, 40 days and 40 nights and this and this and that? Let him be your example. He died of himself daily. There's going to be sometimes, fellas, you going to have to tell that thing, nah, we going to bed. Ladies, there's going to be some nights you're going to have to tell yourself, I don't care how tired I am, I'm going to go home and deliver. We just got to make it work. Don't be selfish.
Oh, you know, that's a good one too, while we on that subject of greed and like stuff like that, because sometimes too, that greed can get you in trouble with, all right, you may not have enough time for your relationship, right? You ain't got enough time. You ain't got enough energy. You ain't got enough. That's what I thought about when you said that. You ain't got enough energy. You ain't got enough time. You ain't got enough this, that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got enough space, because you giving it all away and then expect for your relationship to just deal with whatever the crumbs and the leftovers are. Can't do that, because it's like when you're prioritizing, like at what place does your relationship hold in your life? If you still at a point where that relationship is like at the bottom of the totem pole still, and it's still like a plethora of things that come before it, you may not be ready for a relationship right now. You know what I'm saying? And if you are already committed and you want that thing to work, then you got some adjustments to make. Like, that's really what that is. I don't care about you saying, oh, but I had to work and I got to do, how you think the bill's going to get paid? Come on, man. What we really want, we make time for. We make space for. We make room for. We save energy for. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you can't, like, whatever you're going to save the energy for what you really want. We done seen people come straight home from work and go straight out.
Oh, yeah.
Straight out. Dancing and doing all type of little, you know what I'm saying? Moves and stuff. So sometimes, hey, save some of that energy, man, so you can dance and do some of them little moves in the bedroom.
What you don't water dies. Moving on to the next topic, though.
All right, where we at?
We're on personal growth and self-awareness. But that kind of ties into everything we've been saying. Like, you gotta grow. You gotta grow past, I was born this way. I was made this way. In the beginning of our marriage, I love my husband. Lord knows I do. He moved like a snail. Like, I'll be like, baby, I still do. Not as much, babe. If we gotta be, I probably said this in another episode, but if we had to be somewhere at 10 o'clock, my husband trying to walk out the door at 10:05. So it was like, sir, you're late. Like, so he intentionally put in that work to manage his time. He working on it. He ain't all the way there, because I ain't all the way there in some areas. Lord, deliver him. But personal growth. Like, you got to work at it. You got to keep trying. You got to keep doing. You got to keep going. Like, my personality, I'm a very persistent person. So I have to be very intentional not to let my way, like being so sure about something that I'm just going, doing, saying, and it could be a little rude or, so I have to be intentional in that area and grow. Lord, deliver me. But yeah, we've been talking about personal growth, I think, a lot.
A lot. I mean, that might mean that if you with somebody that they just ain't grown. I've seen a lot of people that they just kind of outgrew their companion.
Mm-hmm.
They've outgrew the companionship.
But they let that happen because as time moving along, you notice that person wasn't changing. So don't try to wait till you fully evolve to tell me I ain't evolved. Why you let me sit for a year and then now you want to say you outgrew me? Where was I during that time when you were growing?
Maybe
Where was
the
that
person
accountability?
Maybe they was just so, stuck on themselves growing.
Okay, so why they didn't have the uncomfortable conversations when they felt that, hey man, this person's stuck and I'm growing. Like let's have those conversations.
So they should pull at some point, like pull me to the side.
Yeah, pull me to the side and let me know I ain't growing at the pace you would like. Cause I feel like you evolve and now you feel like I'm finna go. Oh, really?
Just wake up one day and
I'm gone.
You 10 feet tall. You like, yeah, shorty, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
I done outgrew you.
That's wrong.
And it's like, what? Wait. I'm sure. Wait.
I was the one cooking.
Exactly. Like, did I have anything to do with that? I'm sure I had.
To school.
You can't be connected to me all this time now while you growing, and I ain't had something to do with that. So what you was using my water to grow you, or using my soil to grow you? Like, we in the same pot. How you grow taller than me without me growing? Is you eating what I supposed to been eating? Like, what is it?
Stop using people.
Stop using people. And then sometimes too, if you have had those conversations with the person, if you done been checking them,
right?
If you done been checking on them, and hey, baby, you want to go to this thing with me? You want to got this new book.
Right.
About to do this right here because so that I can learn more and da 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 da. And this person just ain't with it. Oh, baby, I found something that you probably could get into, right? To kind of like, you can get your license or you can da-da-da-da, like something, just trying to help level them up. But they ain't taking it and they just complacent with where they are. Yeah, let them know. I mean, personalities are different. Me personally, I'm more with the straight up approach.
Yeah.
And letting them know, hey, that ain't good. Like I'm growing, right? You see me, right? You see me growing, right?
I see you.
Hey.
Big boy.
Little dog, see me up here going, right? All right, now. I need you. We ain't going. It's gonna look kind of funny. We stepping off in the spot. You know what I'm saying? And you down at my ankles. Grow up.
Have the conversations. Go back and watch that episode where we talking about have the uncomfortable conversations. Don't avoid them. Have them. It's necessary. Well, on our very first, I think it was our first or second episode, I was like, I'm passive aggressive. And I kind of was okay with it. But listen, when we log off these recordings, we get challenged on everything we say. Why I'm reading a book right now, the assertiveness communication or something like that. Guy like sis, level up. That passive aggressive style of communicating does not work. So that's that personal growth that we talking about. We still growing.
So was it just that, you were so used to being that version of yourself.
I was used to that.
That you thought it was normal. It became normal.
I thought that was the way. Like, no, you could let stuff slide, and then when you gotta speak up, you put some authority and some bass behind your voice, and it was like, why you even gotta let it pile up? Right. Learn how to speak when you need to speak.
Effective communication.
Yeah.
Timing is everything. Like not letting things slide, not letting things build up until you explode on somebody. Like if it's an issue, address it right then and there while it's small.
What is this? Episode 16 or 17? Episode 16 and maybe 17. Episode 3. I'm like, I'm passive aggressive.
17. It's 17.
Weeks later, God got me studying to fix it. So that goes with our stuff we're talking about.
Right.
But we're going to wrap it up with the vices.
Vices. This is Miami, and we sure got vices. So everybody has a vice. Whether it is gambling, drugs, spending, sex,
Eating, splurging,
like
stunting,
it could,
weaving.
yeah.
I better put some plats in your head.
Strip clubs,
making it rain.
like it. Everybody got a vice. So
everybody got a vice.
Alcohol, like everybody got a vice. So, these things.
Acknowledge them first.
Acknowledge. First, let's acknowledge it.
Acknowledge.
And then see how it may be affecting your relationships. You know, see how it may be affecting your relationships. Because if it's affecting your relationship, your romantic relationship, I'm sure it's probably affecting some other relationships too if you pay attention to that. And listen, do the work or you're going to be by yourself.
And that's why y'all are tuned in to Relationships 101. Your introduction to committed relationships. We want y'all to be healed, be delivered, be set free so that we can create healthy unions, so we can have a healthy community.
Yes.
First, we got to have healthy families to be able to go out in our communities and be healthy. We're not perfect. We're all grown.
Wait. You said first. First, we got to have what?
Have a
healthy individuals.
Yeah.
So we talking about you right now. Healthy me.
Healthy you. Then a healthy us.
And then
we walk out that front door.
And then
we could be healthy to this community that we serve.
And if you decide to have kids, then it'll be a healthy family. And then y'all go out into the streets. It's a healthy community, right? And then guess what? That makes for a healthy world.
Let's grow. We out.
Peace. 101. Right? We got a lot of broken people, broken pieces that come together thinking that we can just form one. It ain't 50-50. It's 100-100. It's you become whole and I become whole.
And now y'all beefing because you jealous.
And now
that spirit is deadly.
Yeah. We talked about some things that could potentially get in the way, get in between you and your companion.
Those vices that we have.
What's in you is gonna come out of you. If you got a person who just go out their way to just throw stuff in your face, then that's insecurity.
There you go. Beautiful. How do you expect your spouse to love you when you don't even love you?